Hello dear students, how are you today? I hope you're all fine. Our video today is talking about bar graph and pictograph. What are bar graph and pictograph used for? They used to represent data. After collecting data, we need to represent it, so we can use bar graph or pictograph to represent it. Let's take example on bar graph. Here I have the form of bar graph. This bar graph represents school supplies students use. And here types of school supplies: pencil, scale, pen, sharpener, eraser. And here's the number of supplies. The first bar represents the number of pencils. As you see here, it ends at this point, which is 8. So the number of pencils is 8. The second bar for scale. It ends at this point and this point goes to 3. So the number of scale is 3. The third bar for pens, it ends at this point and this point represents 2. So the number of pens is 2. What do you think? How many sharpeners and how many razors? You have 5 seconds to think. Time's up. I think you know how many sharpeners. Yes, the bar of sharpeners ends at this point, and this point represents 5. So the number of sharpeners is 5. The last bar for razors, it ends at this point, and this point, if you look at the arrow, it represents 4. So the number of erasers is 4. Let's take example on pictograph. Here I have pictograph. This pictograph represents number of donuts. Each figure of donut represents 2 donuts. So each figure of donut represents 2 donuts. And of course half donut represents just 1 donut. Let's take example. How many donuts with sprinkles? We said as each figure of donut represents 2 donuts. So we will count each donut by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So the number of donuts with sprinkles is 16. Another example, number of donuts or number of original donuts. As we said before, each figure of donut represents 2 donuts. So we will count each figure by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and here I have half donut, so I will count it by 1. So 14 plus 1 equal 15 donuts. So the number of original donuts is 15. Now practice time. So let's start to answer question 1, which is on bar graph. This bar graph represents number of kids who favorite fruits, or the first bar represents number of kids who favorite orange. The second, number of children who favorite bananas. The third, number of children who favorite bears. And the last bar represents number of children who favorite apples. Let's start question number A. How many children like apples? Here is a bar of apples. It ends at this point, and this point represents 4. So the number of children who like apples is 4 children. Question B. How many children like pears? Here the bar of pears, and it ends at this point, and this point represents 3. So the number of children who like pears is 3 children. Question B. How many children like apples and orange? So here we will add the number of children who like apples to the number of children who like orange. we got before the number of children who like apples, 4 children, and the number of children who like orange, let's get it. Here's a bar of children who like orange. It ends at this point, and this point goes to 6. So the number of children who like orange is 6. So we will add 4 children to 6 children, which equals to 10 children. Question D. How many children like apple more than banana? More than banana. In this question, we want to get the difference between number of apples, number of children who like apples, and number of children who like banana. The number of children who like apple is 4, and the number of children who like banana is, let's go to the bar graph of banana. Here's the bar graph of banana. Ends at this point, and this point represents 2. So the number of children who like bananas is 2. So we will subtract 2 from 4, and the answer is 2 children. Now students, it's your turn. Please think and answer question number 2. You have 10 seconds, so please, faster. Have you finished? I think yes. Time's up. First, we have to look at this bar graph. This bar graph represents favorite fruit: apples, dates, bananas, or orange. And here's the number of people who prefer apples or dates or bananas or orange. Question A. Which fruit is liked the most? The greatest number of fruit here goes to apples? No. Dates? No. Orange? No. So the greatest goes to bananas, because here is the greatest bar for bananas. So the answer is bananas. Question B. How many students like apple the best? Here I have the bar of apples. It ends at this point, and this point's between 40 and 50. In the middle between 40 and 50, so it will be 45. So the number of students who liked apples best is 45 students. Question C. How many more students like banana than orange? Here I want to get the difference between number of students who like banana and number of students who like orange. The number of students who likes bananas, here I have the bar of bananas. It ends at this point, and this point between 60 and 70. In the midpoint between 60 and 70, so it will be 65. And the number of students who like orange, this is the bar of orange. It ends at this point, and this point represents 40. So we will subtract 40 from 65, and the result will be 25 students. Let's move to question number 3, which is on pictograph. Question number 3. Here I have a pictograph which represented some slice of pizza. Each pizza, some pizza for green peppers, some for cheese, some for olives, some for mushrooms. At the first you have to look at the K of this pictograph. The K of this pictograph told you that each slice of pizza represents 2 people. Question A. How many children like cheese? Here, the number of children who like pizza with cheese. As I said before, the K of this pictograph tells us that each slice of pizza goes to count as 2 people. So here I will count each slice by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. But here I have half of a slice, so I will count it as 1 because 1 slice for 2 people. So half a slice for 1. So count again with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13. So the answer is 13 children. Question B. How many children like mushrooms? Here, number of people or number of children who like pizza with mushroom. Here I have 2 slices of pizza and each slice represents 2 people. So 2, 4. So the number of children who like pizza with mushroom, 4 children. And now students, it's your turn. Please think and answer question C and D, and you have 10 seconds. Time's up. I hope you get the correct answer. Check your answer with me. Question C. How many children like cheese and green peppers? So here I will add the number of children who like cheese to the number of children who like pizza with green peppers. The number of children who like cheese is 13 children, and the number of children who like pizza with green peppers, let's count them. As I said before, each slice of pizza count as 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So the number of children who like pizza with green peppers is 12. So you will add 12 to 13 and the result to be 25 children. Question D. How many children like cheese more than olives? In this question, we get the difference between number of children who like cheese and number of children who like olives. The number of children who like cheese is 13 children, and the number of children who like olives, let's count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, plus 1, because as I said before, half a slice of pizza represents just 1. So I get 9. So I will subtract 9 from 13 and the result will be 4 children. That's all for today. And of course, to make sure that you understand the lesson, you have to answer the homework. And the homework is activity book, pages 52, 53, and 54. Thank you for watching and see you next video.